David, that's not going to work. David, hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to the Canis Major Video Deal blog of the week. This week we're going to have one of our acquisition specialists, Stephanie Devereux, who's going to be giving us a presentation on a commercial multifamily property in Henderson called Henderson Apartments in Angleton, Texas. And Stephanie, are you on the line here with us?
Yes, I am.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, and let's hear about the Henderson Apartments deal.
Okay, thanks, Phil. Hi, I'm Stephanie Devereux. I live in League City, Texas, and have a degree in hotel restaurant management. My husband and I began investing in 2002 by flipping a 6-unit apartment complex. In December of 2016, we began working with Phil and Shanoa Grove. I was chosen as a Canis Major acquisition specialist in June of 2017. This is a commercial multifamily case study on the Henderson Apartments located in Angleton, Texas, which is approximately 45 miles south of Houston, Texas. Angleton, Texas is located in the heart of the Houston chemical industry. Major companies around Angleton include BASF and Dow, just to name a couple. Angleton has plenty of land for expansion and has recently started to grow with $5 billion in area investments, bringing over 1,100 new permanent jobs to the area. Henderson Apartments is located directly across from the junior high and recently built senior high. The surrounding houses in the neighborhoods are in upwards of $200,000. Henderson Apartments were built in 1975. This 152-unit complex has 5 different floor plans with a rentable area of approximately 119,500 square feet. Occupancy is running at 94%. This opportunity is what we consider a value deal, meaning we take this property and make improvements to add value to the property, therefore increasing our revenue. This value deal was brought to us by others within our network. Aesthetics such as painting, gutters, new signage, and resurfacing parking lot are some of the projects currently focused on at Henderson. Later this year, we plan on breaking ground on our new 24-unit addition, which will go at the rear of the property on the unutilized land. Henderson was purchased for $8.75 million. Currently, the property is valued at $10.5 million. Fully developed with the new 24-unit addition, it has been appraised at $14.5 million. Rehab is a huge part of what we do. Upgrading or rehabbing a single unit can cost anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000. That may sound like a lot, but upgraded, we can increase rent. If we increase the rent by $300 a month, then over a 12-month period, our increase in revenue is $3,600. Our rehab is paid for, and we continue to bring in this extra revenue. It was well worth the money spent. Wouldn't you agree? Another area that we look at is our net operating income, or NOI. When a single family property is purchased, we buy a distressed house and bring it up to the current level of that property. With multifamily, the value is created from a distressed net operating income. So you have to increase your revenue by improving the property. Therefore, being able to increase rent to market value while decreasing your operating expenses. It will then provide high yield, double-digit returns for investors. The total cost of this project is $11.5 million. Once all work is completed, the appraised value is $14.5 million, capturing a $3 million net equity. We will then refinance about 75 to 80%, which is around $11.5 million. This will allow us to get cash out, which we can then repay our investors their original capital amount and pay off the current financing. They, in return, will be able to take their capital and put it towards another project. Their return is infinite. The investors continue to have shares of the LLC while receiving quarterly distributions from their project.
And Stephanie,
Yes.
going back to that slide, I mean, some passive investors would call that the holy grail of investment opportunities, because the investors put up the down payment to purchase this property. So the investors put up a money, and then you got a bank loan to come up with the 8.75 of the improvements and the total of $11.5 million. So a total of $11.5 million was spent from the investor money and from the bank money to get a property that is then worth $14.5. So the holy grail is the investors get all their money back. So if I put $100,000 into this thing and I got a 2% or whatever share of the property, when the property gets refinanced, I get my $100,000 back, but I still own a percentage of the property, which means I still get that monthly check of my cash flow, indefinitely. So infinite cash on cash returns is the ultimate kind of returns, getting all your money back and still owning the asset and getting a check every month. And then of course, when you get all your money back, you can buy another property or invest passively in another, apartment building. And then when you get that money back, you could do it again and again and again. You end up ultimately getting, monthly checks from many different investments without having to, continuously invest in each investment. You just get your money back and you put it in the next one, you get your money back and you put it in the next one. So we love infinite cash on cash returns.
Yes, we do. So the learning process and how I have grown. My biggest challenge with taking over the role as an acquisition specialist was picking up the phone and making calls to contractors and subcontractors, and not just the first time either. I used to sit and look at the phone and literally talk myself into each and every call, knowing that if I didn't, the opportunity that had been put before me was destined to fail because of my own fear. The dream that my husband and I had been striving towards for over 20 years would cease to exist. Now it's second nature just to pick up that phone and make those calls. I found that it's okay not to know all the answers. There are plenty of people out there that do and are more than willing to help. I've learned a positive net operating income is the key to success. In this case, we were able to capture $3 million by improving the net operating income through rehab and building new units on unutilized land. I continue to learn something new every day, and I learn from my mistakes. I make judgment calls on what I feel is the correct way to handle certain situations, and I have wonderful mentors to help guide me and encourage me. You just have to take it one step at a time. Thanks.
Well, thank you so much, Stephanie, for sharing that story, that success story with us here today, and for being one of our acquisition specialists. Yeah, you're repeating a lot of the things that I teach all the time. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know people that know everything. You don't have to have all the time, money, and experience. But if you leverage other people's time, money, and experience, how much can you do? And the answer is, you're scalable, right? You're infinitely scalable.
That's right.
Yeah, and
correct.
And Stephanie is one of the acquisition specialists across the state of Texas that is running down, evaluating, and helping to basically manage and monetize these deals. The Canis Major Incubator on a continuous basis has deals coming in from investors across the state of Texas. We've had well over 100 deals that you guys, the Canis Major acquisition specialists, have run down. And we're getting new ones under contract on a continuous basis. How do we do that? Well, by leveraging a network of experts that have the opportunity and experience and resources to be able to find, evaluate, negotiate, get these things under contract, and ultimately get these projects funded. So thank you again for sharing this very interesting case study with us this week. Next week we'll have another case study, and thank you all for joining us for the Canis Major Incubator weekly video blog. Thank you all.